What's going on, everyone? So, getting ready to go to sleep, right? Like, hey, let me unwind, let me make sure I got my scheduled videos ready, right? And then, boom, breaking news. And people wonder why I don't sleep. People are always like, oh, you need to get some rest, Tyler. Nope. Sleep when I'm dead, because every time we're in the free agency and in the offseason, news loves to come out at like 1 in the morning. And here we are. And of course, Paul George decides to make his decision and go to the Philadelphia 76ers on a 4-year max, $212 million, 4-year max. So, look, Philly, they're no joke. Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid, Paul George. I think Paul George is a perfect pairing for those two, because he's somebody that's not going to take away from what Joel Embiid does, from what Tyrese Maxey does. And, you saw Philly really starting to round out the roster already. They brought in Kelly Oubre and stuff. And it was kind of like, well, that's odd unless they know Paul George is coming. And lo and behold, Paul George ends up going to the Sixers. Did a whole video over on As It Stands Sports. So if you want all the details and my opinions and a full breakdown on Paul George to the 76ers, go check out As It Stands Sports and go watch that video of Paul George. It is up now. But the reason I want to talk about it here on this Lakers channel is obviously, got another contender that just got better, which puts more pressure on the Lakers to improve and get better, because now the Sixers are basically one of 3 teams in the Eastern Conference. No one's touching the Knicks, the Sixers, and the Celtics unless something crazy happens, right? Like there's some crazy trade that none of us see coming, Jokic goes to Cleveland or something, right? Realistically, it's pretty much those top 3 teams in the Eastern Conference. So Lakers definitely, again, adds pressure to upgrade. Clippers, good news. Clippers get worse, right? I do not understand the logic that the Clippers had in this situation, because if you look at the reports about what the Warriors offered, it was like Kuminga, Moody, Chris Paul, right? They would have gotten an excellent package for Paul George, and instead you let him walk for nothing. You have a brand new arena that's opening up. You have the richest owner. He's richer than all the owners combined. And you just let him walk for nothing? Don't get me wrong. Us Laker fans, let's rejoice, right? Little brother Clippers, still trash. And talk about a blunder, right? Say what you want about the Lakers, right? One of us won a championship. And what's funny is Paul George and Kawhi Leonard both had a chance to join the Lakers. And both of them decided, no, let's team up and go to the Clippers. And now look, now they lost Paul George for nothing. The Thunder get SGA. They're a contender, got a bunch of picks. It's just, wow. Talk about one of the worst blunders in NBA history. You had 2 superstars, every year they were the favorite. I talk about it all the time. I'll never believe in the Clippers until they show me otherwise. Every year it's their year. Every year they're one of the best teams. The last 10 years, they're cooked now, in my opinion. Kawhi Leonard can't stay healthy. James Harden, he disappears in the playoffs, right? Now he's basically your second best player. Good luck. I think the Clippers are cooked. I think they're done. And you are done regardless. So why not take the Warriors package? Because you don't want to send him west? You don't want to send him to the Warriors? Who cares? You're not winning a championship anyway, right? You couldn't win with Paul George. You're not winning without him when he's been the most reliable out of everybody. It just makes no sense. I just think it's funny. Stupidity, right? But nonetheless, right? Why does this impact the Lakers? Because, again, pressure. But hopefully this is the domino that causes all the other dominoes, right? Day 1 was basically boring. It was Chris Paul goes to the Spurs, and then, KCP leaving Denver and going to Orlando, which, by the way, again, that's 2 contending teams that got worse, right? Clippers definitely got a lot worse. Denver, I still think will be there, but this definitely hurts. This wasn't a good thing to lose KCP if you're Denver. So again, you got the Paul George where everybody's waiting for the superstar to go make his decision. What's going to happen? Is he going to the Sixers? Is he going to go somewhere else? And, if he goes over here, then maybe that changes things, right? So now that he's locked in, he's committed, he is a Sixer, now maybe guys like Klay Thompson will go, all right, I'm going to go to Lakers, right? Or even if he doesn't come to Lakers, If he goes, I'm going to Dallas, which I would hate because we're waiting around for Klay Thompson. We missed out on like Valanciunas and some of these other guys, which I don't think is the end of the world, just because, like, yes, it would have been great to get Valanciunas or like an Andre Drummond or whatever. And yes, we do need another big man, but it's like, are they the missing piece? Is it like, oh, Valanciunas, like, does he make us better? Sure. But he's not like, oh, now that we got Valanciunas, whoo, we coming, right? Like, no, it's like, okay, the Lakers got better. They got a big man that can defend. Lakers can work it out. There's still a couple free agents, not any that I like super sold on, but you also got the trade market. There's options and flexibility there to get a big man. Not really worried about the big man department, but it would have been nice to get a couple of guys if Klay leaves. Now, if Klay signs, then great. If Klay ends up staying with the Lakers, then beautiful, chef kiss, right? Because now you got that first step. Now the Lakers got that first domino to fall, in which now they can go and do X, Y, and Z and work out the trade and do this and do that, right? Instead of just kind of standing around waiting, right? This kind of feels like a Kawhi Leonard situation where the Lakers are just kind of sitting on their thumbs waiting for Kawhi to make his decision, and we're missing out on all these guys, we're missing out on all these pieces, and then Kawhi ends up going to the Clippers, and it's like, well, now what? And luckily, Rob Pelinka and the Lakers, they were able to pivot and build a contending team, and they won a championship. So hopefully the Lakers have a plan in place if Klay doesn't come to the Lakers, where they can go, okay, Klay went to Dallas. Okay, this is the direction. This is the path we're going to go. But the Lakers have to wait for Klay because, if Klay signs, then you're going probably this direction. But if Klay doesn't sign, you're probably going this direction, right? So Klay, in my opinion, is the first domino. But hopefully, with Paul George kind of keeping things on hold, and it's kind of like, okay, is he going to the Sixers? Is he not? Even though we all kind of expect him to go to the Sixers, and we all kind of knew that this was going to happen, it still was like, okay, well, what if he goes to Orlando, or what if he goes, to OKC or something like that, right? That could change things, right? That could add a little more. Maybe Klay at that point doesn't want to go to one of the Western teams. Maybe he does want to go to Orlando because he's like, man, like I'm not, look at how tight and tough the West is now. I mean, it already is, but it's like, man, now the Thunder, like, good luck beating the Thunder type thing, right? Like, so I just think that this hopefully is like, okay, got the big name out of the way, right? Now let's go for the other names, and now maybe we could get, okay, maybe Klay will look at it and go, okay, Clippers just got worse, right? Lakers, I can go to Lakers. Me, LeBron 80, Austin Reeves, they can go make some other moves, right? Because I'm sure he still wants to win a championship, right? I've seen people throw out like, oh, well, Dallas can play more and there's all this money. It's clearly not about money, because if Klay Thompson only wanted money, he would have stayed with the Warriors. The Warriors were offering him more money than anyone else is going to pay him or can pay him, unless they work out a sign and trade. But even then, like, why would you pay him $25 million a year, right? Like, so if it was just money, he would have stayed with the Warriors. So clearly it's not just about money. So to me, it's like, there are murmurs and reports that Dallas is the front runner, but we've heard, you hear that stuff all the time, and then it turns out that's not the case, right? Like, there's a lot to kind of lean towards with the Lakers. That doesn't necessarily mean that he'll come, but hopefully he does. And then the Lakers can go look to, okay, do we sign and trade for DeMar DeRozan? Or do we go trade for a Zach LaVine? Or do we go and get do we go get a Clint Capella or a Trae Young? Or, what do we do here? Like, what are our options here, right? Like, so I just think that this, hopefully, at 1 a.m, hopefully this was the first step. And now day 2 will really start to snowball, and we can start getting some pieces. I'm not saying the Lakers have to do everything today. They're probably not, right? It's probably going to be over the next several days that everything really starts to unfold and roll out. But it'd be nice to get that first step. It'd be nice to get that first, like, okay, cool, now we're going this way, rather than like, oh, well, let's wait and sit around for another 3 days and see what happens, and everyone else is getting signed. And then if Klay doesn't come, it's like, well, now what? Now what are the Lakers doing? Are they running it back till the trade deadline? It's like, it's the last thing you want to do if you're the Lakers, right? So hopefully things go well. We're about to find out. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. I pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. Again, go check out As It Stands Sports if you want to see kind of the updates, in my opinion, and breakdown and take on the Paul George to the Sixers, go in depth in that regard, and the pros and cons and all that stuff. So definitely go check that out. But what do you think of the Sixers? Do you think the Sixers, yeah, they're a bona fide contender? They're, one of the top 3 teams. Do you still think, no, other teams are better? Right? Do you think like, let's wait and see how they round out the rest of the roster? Now, what do you think about the Lakers? Right? Do you think that this finally, okay, the big move that everyone's just kind of waiting around for, that's done, that's over with. Now let's go, Klay make a decision and start the snowball effect to start getting the Lakers in line so we can start making some moves ourselves. Do you think that this is that, or do you think like, it all hinges on Klay regardless? Anyway, again, how you feel, whatever your thoughts are, let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. It's me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.